Today, I'd like to share a little short excerpt from the book The Magic of Believing by Claude M. Bristol, and we will be looking at chapter 4 called Suggestion is Power, and beginning on page 66 in the bottom corner. Let's begin at the underlined text. And this book actually found its way to me, which is why it's underlined, and it was in one of those little libraries that you may see in parks or in front of people's homes, the free libraries that you go and exchange books from. So I did not underline this, but that's where we will begin today. So he said, "Golf to me is played with the head, mind, or brain, or whatever you wish to call it. Of course, there are fundamentals of stance, grip, swing, but I must have a clear, clean mental picture of what I am doing before I play the shot. That mental picture takes charge of the muscular reaction. If there is no mental picture, what happens is a mere guess. This means almost endless concentration of thought if you are under pressure, and there is no thrill in any game unless you are under pressure." So in reality, what he's kind of describing here, the mental picture, is thinking from the end, as Neville would say. So he's having a mental picture of his shot being successful and where he wants the ball to go, ideally, and regardless of, things that may be distracting him, he is concentrated fully on the mental picture or the ideal shot that is to be taken. So Gene Sarazen, who was one of the greatest golf professionals of all time, used similar methods in his matches, and if you read his little book, Golf Tips, you will find that he has much to say about mental pictures, objectives, concentration, and confidence. All golfers have heard of mental hazards. In reality, they are bunkers, traps, water hazards, etc. But in the imaginations of many players, they are formidable handicaps to put fear into the hearts of the players. On one course where the writer often played, there was a water hole. The distance from the tee to the hole was about 120 yards, spanning a small pond approximately 50 feet wide. An easy shot with a mashie or a mashie niblick for the average player. Now, I went and I looked up these terms because even having worked on a golf course and being somewhat familiar with golf, I've never heard of a mashie or a mashie niblick. So a mashie is apparently like a 4 or 5 iron, and the mashie niblick would be like a 7. So just for reference, and bring that up to date there. One member of the club who had been a great baseball and football player in his younger days for a long time could never get over this water hazard. Invariably, with his irons, he would put ball after ball into the water to the accompaniment of profanity on his part and laughter on ours. Finally, as the months went by, he took to using his spoon and hitting the ball far beyond the green. I'm assuming a spoon is just a larger club, but I haven't looked that one up. One day I said to him, "I know the water fools you, but the next time just blot out of your mind the picture that there is water between the tee and the green and see instead, mentally, an easy short fairway before you." The first time he followed the suggestion, his ball fell a few inches from the pin, and from that time on, he later told me, as long as he followed the blotting out technique, he never had any trouble. But when he was unable to concentrate on his own mental picture, due to the joshing from the other members of his foursome, he landed in difficulties. In observing many pool and billiard games, I am convinced that certain skilled players influence the direction and fall of the balls by mind control, although they may be completely in ignorance of the power they are using. If it can work on a golf ball, it can certainly work on a billiard ball. That is from chapter 4, Suggestion is Power, from the book The Magic of Believing by Claude M. Bristol.